Hey everyone, today, we're diving deep into one of the most jaw-dropping advances in robotics we've seen this year. Clone Robotics has officially pulled back the curtain on their newest creation, the Protoclone V1. This isn't just another humanoid robot, it's something else entirely. It's 6 feet of synthetic anatomy, built with an astonishing level of biological accuracy. This android doesn't just look human, it moves and responds like one too. And trust me, once you see what it's capable of, it's going to haunt your mind a little, in the best way possible. Let's break it down. The Protoclone V1 is constructed with a polymer skeleton that mirrors the structure of the human body, bone for bone, 206 in total. But the real magic lies in what powers this framework. Over 1,000 custom-engineered synthetic muscles, or myofibers, give the robot its fluid, eerily lifelike motion. These aren't motors dressed up to look fancy. These are actual artificial muscles that contract and release using pneumatic pressure, just like human muscle fibers. The result? Movement so natural, so organic, that for a moment you'll forget you're not watching a real person. But that's just the start. One of the wildest features is the Protoclone's bio-inspired cooling system. You see, human muscles generate heat when they contract, and so do these artificial ones. Clone Robotics tackled this with a built-in water circulating system that mimics human sweating. Water flows through microscopic channels in the frame to dissipate heat and keep those muscles operating efficiently. It's not just smart engineering, it's borderline biological innovation. In early demo footage, the Protoclone is suspended from the ceiling. Not because it can't support itself, but because researchers are still refining its balance systems. Even while hanging in midair, its movements are hauntingly smooth. Its fingers twitch, its limbs sway, and there's a deliberate precision in how it moves that gives you goosebumps. You know it's not human, but your brain does a double take every time it shifts. And yes, let's talk about the face, or rather, the lack of one. The Protoclone's blank, glossy mask has stirred up intense reactions online. Some say it's terrifying, others say it's beautiful in a minimalist, almost cyberpunk kind of way. Clone Robotics says they chose this faceless design on purpose. It reduces the uncanny valley effect, makes it easier to mount sensors, and leaves the door open for future facial upgrades. But here's the kicker, it actually works. That absence of expression makes you subconsciously project your own expectations onto it, and in a strange way, it feels more real than androids with fully expressive faces. Now, let's step back and talk about what makes Protoclone fundamentally different from robots made by companies like Boston Dynamics, Tesla, or Figure AI. Those companies are designing tools, machines optimized for specific tasks. Clone Robotics. They're trying to recreate the human body itself. Their philosophy isn't about functionality first, it's about anatomical authenticity. Protoclone doesn't just have robotic joints, it has over 200 degrees of freedom, modeled directly after the human body's range of motion. This allows it to move in ways other humanoid robots can't. It doesn't just bend and rotate, it flows. And when we talk about movement, we have to revisit those 1,000 myofibers. Unlike standard actuators, these artificial muscles contract in a way that mimics real muscle tissue. That means the robot can be incredibly strong and delicate at the same time. It can lift weight, but it can also mimic the precise motion of threading a needle, or at least, it will be able to in future iterations. Then there's the sensory system. Protoclone is packed with over 500 embedded sensors. These cover touch, temperature, spatial awareness, you name it. This gives it something akin to a human sense called proprioception, that inner map we all have that tells us where our limbs are in space. In a robot, that's groundbreaking. It means the Protoclone can respond to its environment with real-time precision, adapting as it moves. Clone Robotics refers to this as embodied intelligence, a form of awareness rooted in physical experience rather than abstract AI computations. That's a big shift from how most robots are designed. The idea actually goes back to Clone Robotics co-founder Łukasz Kozik. In 2015, he built a biomechanical robotic arm that could replicate human motion using artificial muscles. That prototype became the foundation for what eventually evolved into the Protoclone. Fast forward nearly a decade, and what started as a single arm has grown into a full humanoid system. It's like watching Da Vinci's Vitruvian Man come to life, only made of plastic, metal, and compressed air. Speaking of compressed air, that's the fuel behind the Protoclone's muscle movements. But Clone isn't stopping there. They've already announced that future versions will switch from pneumatic to hydraulic actuation. That change could unlock even more strength and speed, while reducing the size of internal components. It's a leap that brings the dream of human-like androids even closer to reality. And if you're thinking, wow, this thing sounds like it could overheat pretty fast, you're right. That's why the team borrowed a page from nature again. Their thermal regulation system goes way beyond anything we've seen in robots before. It's a circulatory-like system that distributes coolant throughout the body, kind of like how blood carries heat away in humans. It's smart, efficient, and just one more example of how Clone Robotics is fusing biology with engineering. But here's something a little more abstract to chew on: the psychological impact of all this. Protoclone doesn't just perform tasks, it triggers feelings. When you watch it move, you get that gut reaction, something between awe and discomfort. And that's on purpose. The glossy face, the smooth motions, the humanoid proportions, it's all designed to challenge your sense of what's real. People feel something when they see it, and in today's world of content and connection, that emotional response is almost as valuable as the tech itself. And people are responding. When Clone Robotics dropped their demo video, it went viral within hours. Tech fans called it revolutionary. Some viewers were spooked. Others called it art. One particularly striking comment came from Dar Sleeper at 1X Technologies, who said Protoclone was both the coolest and creepiest robot they'd ever seen. That's exactly the kind of reaction that proves Clone is onto something different. Now, let's talk about what's next. Clone Robotics isn't going for mass production, at least not yet. For 2025, they plan to release just 279 alpha units. These aren't going to be available at your local electronics store. They're more like limited edition supercars, expensive, exclusive, and highly collectible. Each unit will likely go to elite research institutions, bleeding-edge tech companies, and possibly even movie studios or performance venues. These initial placements will help Clone gather data, refine the tech, and build mystique around the product. Long-term? The company has hinted at 3 future paths. First, medical training, where these androids could serve as ultra-realistic practice patients for surgeons. Second, entertainment and service industries. Imagine theme parks or high-end hotels staffed by androids that can talk, react, and move like us. And third, the big one, general-purpose humanoids. Robots that live and work alongside us in everyday life. Of course, there's one massive challenge still ahead. AI. Building the body is hard, but programming the brain is even harder. Current demos show impressive movement, but true human-like behavior will require advances in cognitive AI that we're only just beginning to crack. Clone Robotics has reportedly partnered with OpenAI to help develop those systems, so they're not flying blind. But the timeline for true artificial general intelligence? That's still very much a mystery. And then there's the issue of public acceptance. As we've seen, even this early demo of Protoclone has stirred up powerful emotional responses. Some people love it, others are deeply unsettled. And if these androids are going to integrate into daily life, that fear factor needs to be addressed. Clone will have to manage perception as carefully as they manage engineering. But whether you find it thrilling or terrifying, one thing is certain. Protoclone V1 is a milestone. It's not just a technical demo, it's a statement, a warning, a vision of what's coming. The line between human and machine just got a whole lot blurrier, and the age of artificial beings is officially underway. So, what do you think? Are you ready to share the world with synthetic humans? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear what you think. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.